orchestra, we will hear the presentation speech of the Sveriges Riksbank Prize in Economic Sciences in memory of Alfred Nobel. Esteemed Nobel laureates, ladies and gentlemen.
Immanuel Nobel
was born on March 24, 1801. We know very little about his childhood, except that his schooling was short, at least to begin with. This was how most people in Sweden lived at that time, provided they were lucky enough to be among the 65% who survived long enough to start school. But Immanuel possessed exceptional technical talent and soon became an engineer and inventor. At the age of 30, he was already a successful entrepreneur, married, with 2 children, and his own house on the Isle of Långholmen in Stockholm. But his luck turned. Immanuel lost 3 barges filled with a valuable cargo. The family's house burned to the ground. When a 3rd son was born on October 21, 1833, his father's company had already gone bankrupt. Weak and sickly, Alfred Nobel arrived in a poor household. His gloomy childhood experiences marked him for life. Perhaps this is why, as a celebrated inventor and wealthy industrialist, Alfred later became a close friend of author Victor Hugo, portrayer of the unfortunate and poor. Think of Les Misérables. Through Hugo's tales of human adversities, those of us who are more fortunate can also begin to grasp the plight of the poor. But where the task of the writer ends, that of the researcher begins. Only by using the tools of science can we estimate the scale of poverty and understand how we can best fight it. Scientific insights are rarely obvious, except in retrospect. How do you measure a poor person's income and living standard? What is typical of most genuinely poor people is the absence of ordinary employment and a steady recorded income. They live in an informal economy, characterized by subsistence living and barter. The life stories of poor people leave few traces in the national accounts. Angus Deaton realized that material poverty is much better described from the expenditure side than from the income side. What do people eat? How much and how often? What is their housing like? How many children do they have? What clothes, sanitary conditions and health services are available to them? Thanks to decades of extensive household surveys, which Deaton helped design and analyze, today we can provide a scientific answer to the big question: is material poverty around the world increasing or decreasing? The answer is that the percentage of the world's population living in deep misery is decreasing. Why? One important reason is that economic growth in the world's most populous countries, India and China, has improved living conditions even among the poorest. But not all the findings from these household surveys are equally uplifting. People's living standard increases more slowly than recorded production. National accounts overestimate growth since they ignore the fact that the informal sector shrinks as poverty falls. One consistent theme runs through Deaton's research contribution. It is wrong to believe that people's various expenditures are strictly proportional to their income and wealth. Low-income earners often consume entirely different goods than high-income earders. Both save for the future, but the poor save for partly other reasons than the richest. Angus Deaton teaches us to carefully study how individuals living in a risky environment, like Immanuel Nobel, adapt to their different and constantly changing material conditions.
Yet it is unified. You build new theories and discover unrecognized predictions of old ones. You master every detail of existing data, and you invent additional data through new measures and measurements. You are an optimist, a skeptic, and a humanist. And above all, you are an empiricist, always determined to confront what we believe with what we can know, just like Alfred Nobel. It is an honor and a privilege for me to convey to you, on behalf of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, our warmest congratulations. May I now please ask you to step forward and receive your prize from His Majesty the King.
Professor Angus Deaton, a British and US citizen, is born in 1945 in Edinburgh. He is affiliated now with the Princeton University in the United States of America. And the speech we just heard was by Professor Tore Ellingsen, the chairman of the Committee for the Prize in Economic Sciences in memory of Alfred Nobel. And here with Mr. Deaton in Stockholm is his wife, Professor Anne Case, with whom he's done quite a lot of research, actually, and their daughter and son, and also some grandchildren. And now time for some more music. The Swedish national anthem, Du gamla, du fria. Prime Minister Stefan Löfven to the right here. Prince Carl Philip and Princess Sofia. And now the 1,570 guests here in the Stockholm Concert Hall will listen to some more music. The Queen of Sheba's Festivity March from the Prodigal Son by Swedish composer Hugo Alfvén. And that is played while the guests are leaving the auditorium, beginning with King and Queen of Sweden, King Carl Gustaf and Queen Silvia, Crown Princess Victoria and her Prince Daniel, who were sitting on the onstage, and they are followed by the sister to Crown Princess Victoria, Princess Madeline, and Mr. Christopher O'Neill, and the brother of Crown Princess Victoria, Prince Carl Philip, and Princess Sofia. And here the 10 Nobel laureates that are congratulated by members of the different committees that awarded them the prize. Up on this stage we have the members of the Royal Swedish Academy of Sciences, the Nobel Assembly of Karolinska Institutet, which awards the Medicine Prize, and the Swedish Academy, who this year chose Svetlana Alexievich as the laureate of literature. And also